Well, this is what we're working with here. I have partially dismantled this gas tank here that's had some trouble before, apparently. I took the pads off of it and what was left of the emblems. It's going to have to be de-rusted. And in my shop here I have the various parts. This is the chrome side of the gas tank, which you can tell is not in particularly good shape. Might have it re-chromed, might be able to purchase that. There's the pitcock, the parts of it anyway. Major deal here is this engine that I've cleaned up substantially. Still have a little more to do, and that's kind of the bottom part of it. There's some parts of it, the top valve cover, and the sides, and the generator, and covers for that. And this comes off the back sprocket. And this is the back sprocket. No, it's not. That's something else. Other parts of the engine, which are looking better and cleaned, is the top end of it here with the cam. Chain goes around this. This is the back footrest. Gonna have to get all the paint off that to be able to repaint it. Various nuts and bolts. Gaskets that'll have to be replaced. This is the back sprocket, which has been cleaned off, but it looks like it's very usable. Here's the back fender. Had a little bit of damage there, and I've just about got that fixed in the vise. Can't beat that. This will have to be totally stripped and primed. Any other little dents taken out, and I'll be painting that. But you can see it's got some long time since it's hadn't done it. About the side of this bike was in a small accident of some sort at one point. I'm finding where some paint has various other parts right in here, right on my table. This is all parts of the engine, drivetrain that will have to, that will be put back on the engine at some point. The old seat here is usable, but in kind of bad shape. I can buy just a cover for that if I need to. It's the very front end of it that has the headlight and the speedometer in it. All the parts are there. It's going to be totally refurbished. There's the ignition key and the air cleaner. Going to have to get a new air filter and maybe a new hose to put on that, although that's not critical. Back shocks are I'm not quite sure how I'm going to fix that. Not quite sure how it would come apart. But there's a little damage on there. But there's somehow to do that. And I'll be finding that out. Front springs and shocks. This is the thing that cost a lot of money. 35 bucks a piece for these. I haven't decided to buy those yet. Maybe that could be Christmas gifts for me. And a few other miscellaneous part of the engine cover and some parts off the front fork. Not quite sure what that is, but this is part of the front. It goes over the front forks also. And this is a brace that does that, and this is a big plastic grommet that goes over that also. So they're all right here in visible sight. This is part of the exhaust where it attaches to the engine. And by the way, here are the exhaust pipes that have been cleaned but are really in kind of bad shape. But at least they're looking better as of the moment. And the front, let's say the handlebars, which are in kind of bad shape, but I can buy a new one of those for not very much money. And I might wind up doing that. In the shop here I've got plenty of room to work. And I'll eventually have me a table there with that bike mounted on it so I can reconstruct it here at some point. This is the big part, or two pretty big parts. This is the main body, which structurally is in good shape. It's got some a lot of rust and stuff that's got to be taken care of and repainted. And the front fork, that is to say the rear fork, that has also got to be stripped and painted, and that's going to be painted a different color. Then it's going to look a lot different. Wheels look like. Old tires got tread on them, but they're 40 years old and they're rotten. All that damage there. I have one here that I cleaned up a little bit. I think I'm going to have those re-chromed. And not that they wouldn't work, but I don't know whether I can get them looking decent enough. White walls. Hope to find those.